Hey, yo, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Lion, and today I want to talk to you about your relationship with money. Now, in the past couple of months and in the past couple of years, and even specifically with everything that's going on in the world today, with the pandemic and uncertainty and all the changes that are going on in the world, the big word that everybody's talking about is investing, right? So it becomes more and more important to us to understand what is investing, how to invest, and really how to come out of this whole pandemic, how to come out of this whole situation going forward on top and just financially secure. And I see a whole bunch of YouTube channels. I see a whole bunch of other shows on mainstream media or whatever about personal finance and about investing that are just completely exploding. And I see more and more people are very concerned about how to invest their money, how to use their money to their advantage. And really how to secure their future with everything that's going on right now. And really, rightfully so, I really believe that looking into it and really becoming a little bit more financially literate, understanding how money works, how investing works, and what it can do for you could literally change your life. Now, the problem I have with this, and the reason why I'm really making this video, is while I think that investing is very, very important to understand, I think most people really miss the whole point of investing. And while all of these channels are growing and the barrier to entry to actually being able to invest today is becoming lower and lower and lower, and more people are able to take advantage of these systems that are allowing them to invest money, it is very important to understand these few key points before you even invest a single dollar. So what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to give you a few points that are extremely important for you to understand before you get into investing and really understand what can investing really do for you. So let's get started. Money makes money. And I'm sure you heard that saying before, and it is really true. And you have to stop for a second and understand what that really means. What we are doing right now, most of us, and myself included, being worried about our financial futures, we are going online, we are going on social media, we are going on TV, and we're starting to watch all of these shows and basically trying to understand all of this advice that are given to us by these experts about investing, right? And we're trying to educate ourselves in order to replicate their success and in order to make money like they do, right? I mean, this is what we want to do. This is the American dream, and we're just trying to follow it, right? The problem with that is what we kind of fail to understand is that we're watching people like, I don't know, Warren Buffett. We're watching a whole bunch of, celebrity investors. We watch a whole bunch of YouTubers that have a lot of money, and we're just trying to replicate them. So we are not Warren Buffett, and we shouldn't follow his advice for that reason, because following his reason is the same thing as if I basically replicated a Casey Neistat video and expected to have the same views. It is not going to happen. The reason why it works for them and the reason why it works for him, it is not because of his, genius formula and his, better understanding and basically we're trying to learn from him. The reason why it works for him, it's because of money. And what you have to understand is not always about taking that same formula and then scaling it. It's not how it works. Investing $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 in a way that Warren Buffett invests it, where he invests billions of dollars, it's not going to give us the same results. So investing $10,000 with the same formula is not going to give us the same results as investing $1 billion using that same formula. If you're investing a lot of money, it is going to give you very different results than investing a little bit of money. So a lot of money makes a lot of money, and little money makes little to no money. That's what I'm trying to really make you understand here, that this whole formulas that are being taught to us that we just basically swallow and are trying to, regurgitate and replicate are not going to work for us the same way it works for them. And what you have to understand is that the barrier to entry, like I mentioned before, is becoming very, very low. And more people with a lot more humble means, just like myself, are trying to get into the market. We're just learning about it and we're just trying to get in there. I want you to understand something, that this system, right, that has been created, Wall Street, whether it's stocks or the real estate, this whole system has been created not for the small guy, not for you and not for me to make a lot of money. The system has been created to basically make those who already have a lot of money and are coming in from all this wealth to continue making money while we are basically going to give them our money. So all of these new people, including myself, and I think that the amount of new, investors that are basically flooding all of these apps and are flooding, the stock market right now in the past couple of months since the beginning of the pandemic, people didn't know what to do with their money, so they're getting onto the stock market. there are huge new numbers of all of these people, and all of these people have limited to no knowledge. And what we're going to do, instead of trying to make money and instead of actually succeeding to make money, we're going to be giving our money to those who already have, because they have the information, they have the inside information, they have a better understanding and I hate to say it, control of the market, and they're going to manipulate the market in a certain way that all this influx of new fresh money that are basically being put onto this market right now, but all of us noob investors, they're going to take advantage of that situation and they're going to take our money. So you have to understand that it's not that, strategy that you've been told that is going to make you a lot of money, but it is money that is going to make you a lot of money. And another thing that I want you to understand, a lot of people are jumping into investing with, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000. And I got to tell you, if you are able to save $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, I mean, power to you, because you are probably better off than most people who are spending their money on stupid shit and just basically living paycheck to paycheck. So if you are able to put some money on the side and you are able to, start investing your money, I think that you are already way ahead in the game and you understand what you're supposed to be doing to guarantee your financial future. However, what you have to understand is that by spending a lot of time, researching and learning about investing, you have to understand and be realistic with your expectations, right? So, I mean, let's say at the most you have $10,000 that you want to invest in this market. And again, power to you for being able to save $10,000. If we're looking at the market right now, and let's say like the absolute best, and not even absolute best, but like an amazing scenario, you are able to invest it in the stock market and get, 20% return, right? Which is amazing for the market. The market does not grow anywhere close to that amount, but let's say you are able, with all of this time of uncertainty, you have picked the right stocks, you picked the right time to sell, you picked the right time to buy, you bought the right stocks, and you were able to invest in the right companies at the right time, and you are able to make 20% return at the end of the year. So let's see what that actually means. So you invested $10,000, assuming that this is a pretty large amount of money. It's a large amount of money for me, and I'm assuming it's a large amount of money for you if you're watching this video. So if you invested $10,000 and you were able to really stop yourself from spending it on shoes or clothes or whatever it is, and you basically are not able to use this money for at least a year, out of $10,000, you made $2,000 at the end of the year. So that's $2,000 income after a whole year of investing, right? After a whole year of waiting on it. And this again is a situation where you are very, very lucky to get this return and you made 20%, you made $2,000. Now, what can you do with $2,000? Okay, you're going to reinvest it. How long before you're actually able to, live that lifestyle that you are basically following all of these gurus and all of these experts and all of these people that are telling you to invest? How long before you are able to live a similar lifestyle? And don't get me wrong, I do believe that you have to, start investing as soon as possible and you have to get into it with what you already have. But putting a lot of effort and a lot of your time into learning how to invest with such a limited amount of money, which again is a huge amount of money for me and maybe for you, but in the grand scheme of things, it is not a lot of money to actually focus a lot of your time and attention to learning how to work the stock market if you're only making 20%. And assuming that you are able to actually keep that 20%, you're able to keep that $2,000 and put it in your pocket, depending on the types of accounts you open and depending on how you invest it, you might also have to, pay an income tax off of that, and you're gonna be left with, maybe 60, 70% off of that at the end of the year, depending on how much you make overall. But yeah, it's not a lot of money. So what you have to understand, money makes money. So spending a lot of time and doing a lot of research and listening to a whole bunch of people about investing, but you have $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 to invest, even $20,000 to invest, you have to understand and really manage your expectations when it comes to profiting from the investing. The second thing I want you to understand is, who are you following? Whose advice are you following right now? So again, I personally watch and I really enjoy the content by quite a few different, personal finance and stock, channels on YouTube and on other social media channels. I really follow them. I think that they're doing a great job forming people and they're doing a great job when it comes to researching and really just telling us what's going on in the market. And that's great. Power to them. And I really enjoy their content. However, what you have to understand, okay, which the number one thing you have to understand, right? Because we're looking at these people, and for the most part, these people are young, they are successful, they have a lot of money, and they show us their houses and their cars, and they're telling us about all of these, hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars they're able to invest in the market. But what I want you to understand is that the majority of these people are not making anything close to what they claim to be making on the stock market or, in the real estate market or whatever. And the majority of their income, the majority of their money does not come from what they're teaching you about. It does not come from trading stocks. It does not come from real estate investing. It doesn't come from all these channels. What you have to understand is that running a YouTube channel or any other social media channel in that sort of that kind of magnitude, right? A big channel like that, it is a full-time job. And this is their job. This is what they do for money. They don't, invest their money in the stock market first and also kind of happen to make videos about it in the evenings when they have a little bit of time and they edit it really quickly and just post it online just to inform people. No, they are running successful YouTube channels. This is their main source of income, whether it comes from ad revenue directly by YouTube or it comes from, sponsorship deals or merch or whatever it is. That is the bulk of their money. And the only reason why they're able to invest and they're able to really, take classes on some of their investments and continue investing and basically show you all of this, money that they have right now in their house and the cars and everything. It's not because they're so successful doing what it is that they're telling you they're doing. It's not because they're so good at investing their money. It is because you and I and everybody else are watching their videos and are supporting their channels. That's what they do for money. It is not about the investing. Their advice, although, like I said, they're doing a great job informing, you have to take that with a grain of salt, and you have to understand that in order to be able to make money like they do, it's not about you learning how they do investments and, buy their course or whatever. Maybe you should open a YouTube channel and maybe you should make that money making YouTube videos. Because what I want you to understand is that this is their main source of income, not the investing, not real estate, not, stocks or Bitcoin or whatever it is they're talking about. They're making money because you're watching their videos, and they're making very good money from you watching their videos. All right, so this gets me to point number 3, something that I see a lot of people are really struggling to understand. All right, so let's talk about, stock investing for a second there, right? And let's talk about something that's really been talked a lot about recently. I'm sure you've seen it if you're watching this video and you're interested in personal finance. You have thought about or you are already investing in dividend stock. A good dividend stock would pay you, let's say, 5%. So that would mean that, let's say if you invest about $10,000 again, let's take that example again. If you invested $10,000 in one of these stocks, you would get 5%, which again is a great dividend stock at 5%. And you're getting about $500 roughly a year. And again, depending on how you invested, depending on what kinds of account you open it, you might have to pay, an income tax off of that. You might not if it's in a, tax shielded account. But let's say you're making $500 a year with that dividend stock. Although it's like considered a passive income, this is obviously not anything close to an income that you can either live on or, even consider it as one of your main sources of income. So $500. And now let's talk about another scenario. And this is pretty much the point that I'm trying to make here. It is not about investing to a lot of people. A lot of people, before they even invest a single dollar, have to understand that they will get a lot more returns and they would make a lot more profit if they just stop spending. Because think about the difference of what you would make investing. So let's say you would make $500 with that dividend stock that you invested $10,000. But instead of doing that, how about you don't buy like a brand new car or lease a brand new car every 2 or 3 years, and you would maybe buy a used one and maybe drive it for 5 to 10 years. Or you don't buy, shoes that cost $600 or a t-shirt that costs, $250. And don't spend hundreds of dollars every weekend at the bar or at the club, and you would save that money. So let's say, like, for example, that car, that car that you would, that car that you would decide not to buy that would cost you, let's say, $500 a month. So that $500 a month, after a full year, we're talking about $6,000 that you have made, that you have saved, right? So making $500 a year with a $10,000 investment versus just not getting a new car or not buying shoes or whatever, and you're able to save thousands. So $6,000 a year. Now, look at that difference and what that makes. A lot of people, what I see and what I'm trying to say here is that a lot of people are looking and jumping into investment and say, I'm going to start investing. I'm going to like create a savings account and I'm going to start putting my money into the stock market, or I'm going to buy Bitcoin, or I'm going to, try to invest into real estate or whatever it is trying to invest in. But they're not looking at their spendings, right? The first thing about investing, the first and most important thing about investing, and if you're looking at every successful investor out there, if you look at Warren Buffett, what you have to understand first, before you invest a single dollar in the stock market, in real estate, and whatever it is, what you have to understand, you have to learn how to live below your means, not beyond your means like most people do, but below your means. You need to basically generate an income over the year, and then you have to learn how to save most of that income. You have to understand and not succumb to pressures from, friends or society or whatever it is, trying to tell you that you need to buy, the newest car every year, or that you need to buy these, $600 shoes or t-shirts or, whatever it is that you're spending your money on right now. It is going to be a lot more profitable for you just to learn how to spend less and how to live below your means than it is to learn how to invest your money in the stock market or real estate or whatever. All right, so this brings us to point number 4 and the last point of this video. If you made it this far, you really want to hear this last one. I think, again, it's really, really important, and a lot of people are really missing the point. So what's happening right now with investing, and the reason why it's being, glorified to a certain extent, is because all of these people that we are following, all of these, celebrity or experts or whatever, people who are investing in the market and are teaching us and telling us that we're supposed to be investing in the market, we look at them and we see them as if this is their full-time job, right? I mean, they're at the point of their lives, they may have a lot of money and they say, I basically invest your money, and they glorify it, saying that, quit your day job or quit whatever it is that you're doing and start investing in the stock market. Or start investing in real estate, you know what I mean? Like be your own boss or whatever. And I'm all for it. Being your own boss, starting your own business, working on your own brand is always going to be better for you. And it's always a smarter decision, looking long-term, than trading your time for money. However, the problem with that is that most people who don't have a lot of means right now, who don't have a steady source of income, whether from their job or any other source of income, decide that, oh, I'm going to make my money right now, investing. So I'm going to start day trading, or I'm going to start looking for real estate deals, and I'm going to start looking and investing in the stock market. But without having that steady source of income from whatever source, whether it comes from a 9-to-5 job, an office job, or it comes from you work in construction, you can work, you're a real estate agent, you work in sales, whatever it is that you do, you run a YouTube channel, whatever it is that you do, you have to understand that this is your primary and most important source of income. And if you want to be able to even invest your money, this should be the first step. The first step should be getting a primary and the first source of income that is not made from investing, and then being able to save a large amount, hopefully the majority of that income, 50, 60, 70% of that income, saving it and then investing it, not the other way around. It's not about, I'm going to, start with the $10,000 or the $5,000 I have, and I'm going to turn it into millions just by learning the right formulas and the right ways. I'm going to do all that research and hope I fall on the right company, hope I fall on Apple 10, 15, 20 years ago, or hope I fall on Amazon before it became big. Chances are this is not going to happen. And what you have to understand, that you cannot sustain that kind of lifestyle, and you're not going to be able to sustain really investing any money in the stock market if you don't have a primary source of income that's going to be there for you no matter what. And that's sort of where I see a lot of that disconnect, because all of these YouTube channels and all of these experts are basically preaching, learn about investing, sit down, maybe day trade or whatever. And for the vast majority of the population, that's not viable. They cannot go on and do that because they don't have that steady source of income that all of these people that are preaching have. If you look at other success stories, they're always either worked in parallel, whatever. They might have gotten to a point where they were able to quit that main source of income or whatever, their day job, and focus more on investing. But I guarantee you that there were always other sources of income and substantial sources of income. I'm not talking about like dividend investing and getting $500 a year here. Salary equivalent sources of income that were able to get them through and were able to really support their investing. All right, so this is pretty much the 4 points that I want you to understand today. Again, just to recap, the first thing I want you to understand is that money makes money first. More than knowledge, more than anything else, money makes money. The second thing I want you to understand is that don't just blindly follow advice by YouTubers or other experts or gurus that are talking to you about investing, because you are not them and they have other sources of income and they are often making more money basically either selling you courses or making videos or any other sort of literature or information, and that's how they're making their money, by you following and watching it, versus they're actually making money investing. The third thing I want you to understand is the difference between investing your money and saving your money, and how much more you can gain from learning how to live below your means and saving your money versus starting to invest. And the last thing I mentioned is how important it is to at least build one or multiple steady sources of income that is going to be equivalent to like a salary level income in order to allow you to even get into investing seriously, and how important it is to be able to also save a large amount of that income before you even consider investing a single dollar. So again, depending on where you are within this whole situation, how much money you have, what kind of sources of income you have, and really taking all this information that you see online with a grain of salt, and understanding where is this money really coming from, and being really, really careful when it comes to investing, because I think that a lot of people are just, jumping out there and thinking that there is, since all of these videos, since all of this information, in order to make it interesting, it is being very glorified, right? I mean, if people didn't think that they were able to make a lot of money, they weren't going to watch these videos, right? So it is in the creators, it is in all of these experts' interests to tell you that you are able to make a lot of money. Because if that wouldn't been there, you wouldn't be watching these videos and you wouldn't be even considering investing, right? So think about that. Really keep that in mind before you invest your money. It's not all, just profits and money and just, profiting and making all of these profits year after year. Investing your money in a lot of ways, especially for beginner investors, it is like gambling. We don't know what's going to happen. We're not in control of the situation most of the time. And as much as we're trying to make informed decisions, we don't know what's going to happen in the market. We don't have that information, and we obviously don't have any sort of control over the market either. So be very careful out there and think twice before you put your life savings into, the stock market or the real estate market or whatever it is. It is important to start investing as soon as possible, but make sure you make informative and make sure you think for yourself when you start making these decisions. Following somebody blindly is never a good strategy. All right, guys, so if you made it this far, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. Until my next video, don't forget to stay unchained, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.